Namaste. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be across the planet, around the world. I'm Greg from in5d.com and in5d.net. And welcome to another night of Spirit Chat. What is it? Friday? Saturday? It's Saturday. Remember that old Bay City roller song? SATURDAY. Night. Oh, God. I'm old. A lot of you are like, who? The hell are you talking about? Anyway, I just released a video at 7 p.m. Eastern. Let's go take a peek at the N5D YouTube page. I love the screen share thing. You know, it's nice to have that option. But yeah, I just put this out, 16 ways to tell if you're an old soul. And check it out. I think you guys will dig it. And in the past week, we've put out seven videos in the past week. So averaging one a day, and it's pretty good. A week ago, we put out 13 signs you're ready for the new earth. We had a spirit chat a week ago, introverts, extroverts, and spirituality. Check that out. My lovely wife's video with her and a number of friends, all giving weekly tarot card reading predictions. Fantastic video. Of course, date night with the lovely world famous Allie. And put out a video 2 days ago, everything you need to know about near-death experiences, full-length documentary. And this one, 16 ways to tell if you're an old soul. So yeah, lots of new stuff coming out on N5D. If you haven't subscribed, do so. Make sure you hit the bell notifications because you will get notified of when new videos are coming out. Also follow on Facebook and Twitter, Gab, all those great places that I'm on. I'm listed. Yeah, follow N5D there, and especially like Patreon. Let's go there. Hang on. Stop share. Tonight we're going to be talking about celebrities, awakened celebrities. And you're probably thinking, are there any? Yeah, there are. There are. And we're going to be checking out a few of them. So yeah, that's going to be fun. Let's see. Where is it? Gotta find the right. Oh, shoot. I had the wrong page open. There we go. Yeah, so yeah, there are awakened celebrities, and it's going to be fun to be covering that. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second here. For some reason, I'm not able to share this one screen. Not. There it is. Okay. Anyway, so if you enjoy the work of N5D, you can follow us on Patreon as well. And there's a bunch of different levels, everywhere from as little as $1.11 a month, $5.55, $11.11, or, you know, and there's other levels as well. So I appreciate all of the support you guys have for N5D through Patreon, and yeah, really cool stuff. Like for $5.55 and higher, we have the Insiders Club private chat on the first Wednesday of every month. And this was actually video number 8 that I came out with, was the mid-month energy report video for subscribers of 1111 and higher. So that was, yeah, the 8th video this week that I released. And that was pretty cool. Talks about the recent coronal mass ejection and how it plays with our pineal gland and the release of melatonin, hence making people tired It's really interesting of the effects of coronal mass ejections on the pineal gland. So check that out. But everyone from $1.11 and higher is listed on all of our current Patreon family members are listed on our Patreon wall of eternal gratitude. And so, yeah, we have a number of people that are on there, and thank you so much for all of your support. It's greatly appreciated. So for as little as $1.11, your name can be here too. So check that out. Okay, so who do we have here joining us? I see Rob's in the waiting room, and I'll be letting people in after I cover these awakened celebrities. So if you guys want to join in, I'll put a link in the chat. Allie said she might be joining us a little bit later. I think she said she had better things to do, like clean the fungus out of her toes or something. She's gonna hate me for saying that. She never said that. Hi, Mom. I know her mom's watching too. Her mom made a beautiful comment about she loves the videos that I make on in 5D. So, and she's like one of my biggest supporters. So, hi, Mom. I'm glad that you enjoy those videos. And hi to everybody in the chat room. First in, Debbie. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. And Propus, Tammy T. Seeing some names that I saw in the chat room for the premiere video of the 16 signs that you're an old soul. Hanging laundry. Right there with the Bay City Rollers. Okay, somebody else understands what the heck I'm talking about. Yeah, Mary Jane remembers that song. Hi, Laura. Nasa, hi to you. Sarah, happy Saturn's Day, indeed. We're here with you, beautiful star family. Sarah made a really nice comment about Allie on her birthday, about happy birthday to you, the in 5D matriarch, something along that line. So I really, yeah, she is. So I can't deny that. Oh, thank you, Debbie. She says she loves the shirt I have on tonight. This is the Air Element shirt, but it's just a tank top. And I really don't sell tank tops on in 5D quantum tie-dye because the shirts, the tank tops ended up costing more than the t-shirts to order. And I just couldn't see charging more for something that's less, you know? So it's all, and the price of everything is going up, and I still have a hard time justifying raising the price on, you know, everyone else in the world is raising their prices. I can't do it. And Allie's in the same boat as me. She can't do it. Speaking of which, Allie there's only a few more spaces left, and I believe it begins tomorrow. Let's take a peek at this. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. Okay. Do a screen share. But if you're looking to get a reading at a great price, check this out. Sunday, tomorrow, Allie's doing another marathon reading, 12 hours for 12 hours. So it's 20 pounds or $27 American for a 30-minute reading, which is a steal. It's fantastic. And she's got the times all listed here, and I guarantee get it while you can. So now that I'm putting it out there, it's going to go quickly. So definitely sign up and get your reading. If you haven't had a reading from Allie, she is amazing. Absolutely amazing. So definitely check that out. Got a new article, a full moon article, posted that. Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, check this out. Not sure how much I can say about this on YouTube, but these people keep getting things right. Experts say that's dangerous. Movements like the freedom are fueled by these things when those things are correct, it legitimizes them. And that's dangerous. It's dangerous when these people are correct. And my comment is, it's dangerous being right versus being fed lies and fake news by the mainstream media. It's dangerous to use your mind to critically think about what we're being fed versus blindly following whatever the mainstream media tells us. Yeah, that's dangerous. And of course, check this out. I mean, if you're not there yet, go there, because there's so much that I can post here and here that I can't post on YouTube or Facebook. Let's see if I can, let's click out of here and let's go here. All right, so this is the N5D Telegram page. Of course, on here, I can't read anything. But yeah. And this dude has ties with this dude. So 1 + 1 = what? Yeah, put it all together. So yeah, just how many reps does one of these people meet throughout his or her career? These are pens from every big pharma rep that this doctor met. So do you think that they have some kind of influence on what their decisions are going to be? A little kickback here, a little extra payment if you promote this product for us. Oh yeah. Yeah. Follow the money. Bottom line, follow the money. I put a comment in there. Yeah. Of course, I can't say any of this stuff. I'm just scrolling through. Just saying. This is just today that I posted on Patreon. That's funny. See, and that was the one I posted on Facebook. Up 81%. Yeah. But that's just a sample of everything that's there. BitChute, same thing. Lots and lots of stuff that you can't post here or on Facebook. Tammy says her son wants a tank top just like this. What size does your son wear? Because I have a lot of sizes available. I know I could probably look on the order and figure it out. I'm not sure. I have some ladies ones and I have some men's. I have the most in extra large and men's because I buy a bunch for me to experiment on. Mary Jane, I got the BitChute account, Rumble, Gab. I haven't gotten on Telegram yet. Yeah, get the lead out. Hi, who said what? That's a new name. Hi, welcome to Spirit Chat. Mary Jane, I missed Twitter, got the boot at the same time. 40. I did too. But you know what? Somehow I'm back on with a different email on a different browser. So I'm back on as I think it's Prescott.Greg. So I haven't really been posting much on there because it's all, leftist liberal crap. Large t-shirt would be, yeah, large tank. Yeah. I'll have to check and see if I have that, Tammy. Yeah, Hunter laptop. Yep. New York Times admitted, yeah, sure. Yeah, that was true. When the left and all the mainstream media were saying, oh, no, it's all a bunch of crap. Even Sleepy Joe went on a tirade 4 days, before the election saying that was all a bunch of bunk, but it's true. And you know that they were covering for him. So, of course, I don't want to say too much. Oh, Allie and I were talking about doing, how Tarot by Janine does her world events, and she kind of has to tiptoe around things. Well, what we're thinking about doing, and let me know if you guys would dig this. We're gonna do something similar to that, but I'm gonna record it on StreamYard. And what I'll do is beforehand, I'll ask you guys to give us a bunch of questions, and we'll answer all these questions that you guys send uncensored. We'll record it on StreamYard, and I'll post it on the N5D BitChute channel, uncensored. So I think that would be really cool to do something like that. So Allie will do her tarot readings, and I'll give my intuitive thoughts on what's going on as well. So it's going to be a great combination, and it'll be fun to do. What do you guys think? Would you guys enjoy seeing something like that? Let us know. Speaking of Allie, I've got her coaster. I'm using one of her coasters right now that she gave me. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah. Yummy. UFO Mark, how are you, brother? Good to see you here. Good to see all of you here. Totally digging it. What else? I think we're ready to jump into the main topic, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to cover that, and then I'll be letting everybody into the chat room. If you want to come in, I'll put a link here. So if you want to join us after I go through these celebs, you're more than welcome to. I encourage it to happen for you guys to come on, because people need to hear your voice and see you and get downloads from not only what you look like, but your voice as well. So join us on Zoom. So without further ado, let's pop over to our main topic of the night: awakened celebrities. So I'm going to do a screen share here real quick. There we go. Now, the first thing is, I have a lot of respect, and it's not necessarily saying that these people are awakened, but I do have a lot of respect for celebrities who admitted to seeing aliens, right? Extraterrestrials, UFOs, whatever be the case, right? So John Lennon claimed to have an alien encounter. He was one of them, and there's a number of them, and I don't have the list in front of me, but you can check out the video and the article on N5D. I'll put a link to all these articles down below. But like I said, just because you've seen a UFO or an extraterrestrial or whatever, well, a UFO, it doesn't mean that you're necessarily awakened. But it is cool that, they get my respect for coming out, having a voice, and saying something, right? Okay, so number 2 would be, here's an Aaron Rodgers. He saw a UFO. Now, this guy is one of the highest paid, I think he is right now, amongst the highest paid quarterbacks, if nothing else, in the NFL, National Football League. And despite his popularity and fame, he came out and said, yeah, I saw a UFO. He also was anti getting the jab. And so he had a little controversy in the sports field on that. So he earned my respect on several different levels. And the NFL, all sports, it doesn't matter what sport you're following, it's all about divide and conquer. every sport is like that. It's my tribe versus your tribe, and it's a distraction. I used to love watching sports. I played every sport you threw in front of me. Growing up as a kid, baseball, football, basketball, soccer, hockey, everything, ping pong, snowmobiling, ice fishing, everything. You throw a sport, everything, but I didn't play rugby, but football's pretty close to that, or lacrosse, never played that. Never got into gymnastics, but um, just like typical sports that you would see on TV, bowling. I was a scratch bowler and I bowled in a scratch league and I have a couple 300s sanctioned. I'm pretty good at what I do when I play sports. And I used to love sports. Nothing more fun than just going out and shooting some hoops, playing 21 or horse or something like that and coming up with trick shots, and it's fun. But after watching The Secret back in, it was like 2007, maybe 2008, one of those years. After watching The Secret, all of a sudden, sports just didn't seem, they lost their luster. I used to be a New York Knicks fan in basketball, a Rangers fan in hockey, being from upstate New York, Syracuse fan in college sports, Chicago White Sox fan in baseball, and Kansas City Chiefs fan in football. I still watch football, and but I just don't watch it. I used to have the NFL Sunday ticket, used to watch it religiously like that, but it lost its luster. I enjoy fantasy football more than I actually enjoy the game itself, if that makes sense. But it's all divide and conquer. That's all it is. And we buy into it. And it's a distraction. Pre-game in the United States, they start out with the pre-game shows. You have Good Morning Football on at like 7 o'clock in the morning. And that takes you up until until the pregame shows on the major networks. And that takes you up until the games. And they have games at 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and 8 o'clock. And after the game gets done at 11:30 or so, they have post-game shows that go on until past midnight. So you can spend all day watching football. And what have you done? How has it made your life better? And that's where it really hit home with me about all sports, all the divide and conquer bullshit. I will admit, though, sometimes it's nice having a distraction. So sometimes, anything, is without, you don't want to go overboard on anything, too much of anything. But, just have a distraction to get away from stuff. Yeah, I can understand that. So, yeah, that was my take on Aaron Rodgers, and I have a ton of respect for him, the man that he is. He, as a matter of fact, he has a top 10 list of his favorite books, and most of them are metaphysical. He does read. He's very well read, and he, Four Agreements is one of his top 10 books. So he gets it. He gets it spiritually. You just don't see people like that, of his status and stature, being awake, being anti-jab, seeing UFOs and talking about it. I admire people like that. Next up, Sammy Hagar. This dude, he's like a soul brother. I totally get Sammy. Here's an article where he talks about his not only sighting, but abduction, right? They were plugged into me. So Sammy Hagar has enjoyed a lot of far out experiences in his life, but the former Van Halen singer, lead singer, told what may be his farthest out tale yet. He was abducted by aliens, or at least that's what he seems to believe. In an MTV interview to promote his book, Hagar admits he might sound like a crazy person to some, but he insists his bizarre experience wasn't a dream. And he goes on to say, it was real. The aliens were plugged into me. It was a download situation. This one, this was long before computers or any kind of wireless. There weren't even wireless telephones. Looking back now, I was like, fuck. They downloaded something into me, or they uploaded something from my brain, like an experiment. And he went on to say, at the time, I thought it was a car with no wheels. I'm talking about the UFO. We lived out in the country and I saw something floating across the field, creating a big dust storm. I threw rocks at it and sugar. I don't know what happened after that. So yeah, there's a couple videos on that. So Sammy definitely he got my respect for coming out and saying that, but Sammy goes like another step further. In this article I wrote, he talks about how he met his father in a dream on the night his father died. Look at his bracelet, love and light. So he goes on to say, one night I dreamed somebody was knocking on the door. I got up to answer it, wondering who could be knocking on my door in the middle of the night. I opened the door and it's my dad. Only he's like 22, which is a master number, 22 years old, young and vibrant. And this is exactly, my sister died in 2011, and she was in her early 50s, but when she comes to me in my dreams, she's young, healthy, and vibrant, just like what Sammy said. And so his dad says, "Hey son, great day for the Irish," he says. He's acting crazed, really happy, but drunk on his ass. What the F are you doing here? I tell him. My kid's sleeping right here on the floor, right in this room. Don't ever come in here drunk in front of my family. You're going to scare this guy. Now get the F out of here. I slammed the door shut, went back to bed. And that's how the dream ended. 2 minutes later, somebody's knocking on my door again. I head to the door and thinking, geez, I'm really going to chew his ass out this time. And I open up the door and it's Don Pruitt from next door. Your sister's on the phone, he said. I didn't have a phone of my own. I went over and picked up the receiver. Dad died, my sister said. Dad died in the backseat of a police car. They picked him up in the park in San Bernardino across the street from the nightclub. He had been living in the streets since we left him in that burned down house. After the cops picked him up, they arrested him. They arrested 3 more drunks on the way downtown, and all the drunks started fighting in the back seat. One of the cops sprayed mace all over the idiots, and when they arrived at the police station and got out of the back of the car, Dad just fell over, and for once, he didn't get back up. I often wondered what would have happened if, in my dream, I'd have invited him in instead of yelling at him. That's pretty deep. Obviously, he and his dad didn't have a great relationship. But to see him on the night that he died, I mean, okay. I'll be letting people in here in a second. Just got a little bit more to cover. But like I said, my sister Lola died in 2011. And I mean, imagine being a parent. It's hard enough being a sibling, growing up with somebody you love and know like the back of your hand. It's, your blood, your family. But imagine being a parent and losing your child. my dad took it especially hard. You know, there's a bond between a father and a daughter. I have it with Brittany, and most of you ladies out there can probably say the same thing with your dad. There's a special bond that you have, daddy's little girl kind of thing, right? My father took it really hard. And shortly after my sister passed, he told my mom, I wish I could have hugged her one more time. That night, he had a dream. There's a knock on his door. He opens the door, and it's my sister Lola. And she's young, healthy, and happy. And he goes, why didn't you just come in? And she said, I just wanted to hug you one more time. That's exactly what my dad told my mom. I wish I could have hugged her one more time earlier that day. So when Sammy got visited by his father, that was real. He was young, he was healthy, just like my sister. I'm telling you, sometimes our dreams are more real than this third dimensional reality. Okay, moving on. Okay. But if that wasn't enough about Sammy Hagar, rock star Sammy Hagar's encounter with ninth dimensional beings. So not only does he say, yeah, I saw a UFO and they gave me a download. Not only did he say he saw his dad on the night that his dad died, he also had encounters with ninth dimensional beings. How cool is that? So he said, I'm a firm believer. I've seen, have felt, have been contacted 3 or 4 different times. I've received information that has been valuable in my life from those people, and they have used me. I'm going to sound like a complete nut here, but they've used me in an experimental fashion. The easiest way to put it is that they downloaded my brain information. When I was about 19 or 20, they downloaded everything that was in my head, and I caught them doing it. I woke up in the middle of the night thinking, what's going on? They were like, oh my God, he's waking up. But that was all telepathy. There were no words being spoken. And as soon as I woke up, it was probably 3 o'clock in the morning. My whole world, my whole room was so bright that I could hardly keep my eyes open. I was wide awake. I could not move. Eyes open, white room. They were still disconnecting. And when they did, it just went bang. Everything went back to normal, back to black. I was shaking. I almost passed out. I was sick to my stomach and almost had to throw up. It was so scary. It sent me on a course of curiosity. I bought a telescope and I started reading UFO books. And I just got into the whole thing. And since then, there have been 3 or 4 other contacts with the same group of people. I don't know who the F they are, but I've narrowed them down to a people called the Nine, or called that because they're from the 9th dimension. I named my publishing company The Nine Music after them. It's a crazy thing, man. But to me, anyone who thinks we're the only ones here, despite the vastness of the entire universe, is effing crazy. Those people got to be put away, not the guys having these contacts. So, yeah, a lot of respect for Sammy Hagar. Totally dig him. I love his music too, both as a solo performer and as the lead singer of Van Halen after he replaced David Lee Roth. So those are some of the awakened celebrities that I admire, and I've got one more that I want to share with you. Now, you guys have probably heard of, if not have seen, that movie Half Baked with Dave Chappelle and Jim Breuer and the other guy. It's like the three tenors, Luciano Pavarotti and the other guys. But yeah, Jim Breuer was in that movie Half Baked with Dave Chappelle, and I highly recommend subscribing, number one, to his YouTube channel. It's fantastic. He goes into a bunch of stuff about conspiracies and stuff like that. But what I want to do, hopefully you can hear this. I'm going to play a video. Let me know if you can hear it.
It's getting old. Now that, because yeah, if you listen to metal, there's no young metal good bands out there that I'm listening to. It's becoming oldies. How scary is that? But you know what? Embrace it. I want to be that grandfather in the back seat of the car with my grandkids, just really not sure where I'm at. And when you get older, you just want music. That's the only thing that touches your soul. So I want to be in the back seat. Just, hey, could you turn on my station, please? What are we listening to? They're not even singing. And my grandkids are going, don't turn on his station, Mom.
Can you guys hear it? Can you hear it? Well, I hope so. I'll continue playing it.
The station sounds like they're sacrificing animals. How great will that be, that moment where you're in that back seat, all us old 80s metal guys, and you hear, hey, you're listening to the oldies goldies station. As we thank the good Lord for another breath of air today. This is going out to the class of 82. And if you're turning 82 today, this is for you. This is Metallica's Creeping Death. And we're going to be in the back here. Die, 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 stop creeping death. And we'll be in that back seat like this. You. Do you hear his lyrics? That's music right there. Die! Your grandfather's gonna die because his creeping death on the way. Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up. You know, you're gonna need us oldie metalheads. Stick us in nursing homes and assisted living. We are gonna rip those places up. All the old metalheads, please come to the rec room for the wheelchair mosh pit hour. Line it up, Freddie. Turn on Megadeth. Let me help you up, Mr. Breuer. Don't you touch me! This is how we did it back in the day. You got me good, Charlie. You got me good.
Detach your emotions from politics. Politics is professional wrestling. News media only has one agenda. It's evil. And it wants to control you. And it does, whether you believe it or not. That's for you to find out. We are born with so much love, so much spirit, so much conscience. We're here to lift each other up. We're here to heal one another, to help one another, to guide one another. You think we're just here to work and eat and just drop a deuce and call it a day? If you believe that everything exists for a reason, why does a frog exist? Well, he eats this thing, and then why does the dragonfly exist? The dragonfly exists because the frog eats him and the thing. And then why do trees exist? Why, if you believe all that, why was human born? Why are we here? We're here to lift each other up, to help each other, to love each other, to guide one another, to respect one another. And films, television, magazines, news, all they do is create hate, judgment, hate, fear, judging, money, ego, vanity, all the darkest elements of humanity. It's all man-made by evil, evil people. Trust me on this one. Get them all out of your life so we can start talking to each other and lift each other up. I love you guys. We'll talk soon. Welcome to Breuerverse, and thanks for hanging out today.
So I hope you guys were able to hear that. I'm not sure if you were. Hopefully, you could. Lovely. I love that. Jim is amazing. His YouTube channel is called Jim Breuer's Breuerverse, and I highly recommend sign up for it. He's got like over 100,000 followers. A lot of people are jumping aboard on it because he's talking the truth. He has he calls Breuer's conspiracy theory bunker, and a lot of times his way of getting around things is, I'm just saying, it could be this, could be right, could be wrong, just putting it out there, just saying, but he says a lot of the stuff that we're all saying and we're all thinking. He is one of us. He places an emphasis on love and family as well. A part of him that you guys don't see, and you have to really find it. He doesn't really come out and say some of these things publicly, but his wife Dee has stage 4 breast cancer, and she is the love of his life. I know exactly how he feels. He does the same thing I do with Allie. It's like she is his goddess. Allie's mine. And there's just this reverence of love for her and compassion. And she's on this test drug where actually her cancer has been kind of like in remission. She was called terminal 5 years ago, and she's still alive. So, send out lots of love and healing energy to his wife if you can, Dee. And but I just feel these connections with him. He's from New York, as I am. His wife's name's Dee. My mom's name is Dee. He has a brother that lives in Oneonta, which is where I'm from. He moved from New York he lives in Naples, which a couple hours away from here, Gulf Coast of Florida. He's into the same kind of music that I'm into. I would love to meet him and maybe do a live interview with him on N5D. So he ended up, his parents are no longer with him. They've died, but when his dad was sick, he took him with him to all his gigs all around the United States. He would bring his father with him, and his father was incontinent, and he'd have to change his father's diaper and wipe him down and wash him and all that stuff. That's how far he goes for the love of his family. So he's like the modern day Bill Hicks, right? And so, my top 3 people, my top 3 celebrities, awakened celebrities. Number 3 would be Aaron Rodgers, because I don't know enough about him outside of, the books he enjoys and his UFO sighting. But the next two, Jim Breuer, Sammy Hagar, probably a tie for number one. They're both really cool. Got a lot of respect for both of them. And I'd love to interview both of them at some point in my life, because I really feel a connection with both of them, spiritual connection. So anyway, on that note, I'm going to let everybody in who's waiting. Let me post a link if you want to join us. If there's other people that you personally think that you follow and you like that are awakened celebrities, let us know. Okay. But on that note, we have Leonard Thomas. That's a new name. Rob and Susie. So welcome to Spirit Chat. And if anyone else wants to join us, you're more than welcome to. Nobody has their cameras on yet. So hello, Rob, Susie, and Leonard.
Hello.
Howdy.
Hi. So what do you guys think? Are there any awakened celebrities that I missed or that you like or admire?
Here, let me get this on. Could have done video. Which one?
You're on. See ya.
I'm trying to get. Oh, ah! Frightening. I told my husband, turn it on downstairs. You want to see me on TV? I'm going to be on TV right now.
Yes, welcome to the Susie Polly Show.
The only one I could think of, and then you said Jim Breuer, and I was like, yes. He did a whole sketch on COVID, and it was hilarious. Snoop Dogg, sorry, I just love the guy. I've always loved the guy, and he was in the halftime show, and I think he's one of us. I really do. A lot of them have that I used to have I found out that they were not good people. They were doing the bad stuff to get where they were. But I don't think if he was, he's not now. I mean, I know sometimes they turncoat and that can happen, but I think he's the one, and also because he's a pot smoker. So of course, and that's good stuff. So that's the only one I could think of other than Jim.
I mean, some people might say, Roseanne Barr.
Yes.
She
got a lot of flack for the longest time.
Yeah, it's just some of her connections, and maybe it's not her fault, but some of her connections are kind of sketchy in this genre. They're all doing, it's part of her. Some of her connections are the same people who are pushing a lot of the parroted stuff. It's almost like the awakened version of the mainstream media. So
they sound good, but
yeah,
you can usually sell, just like when you see Trump and Biden. Biden was no challenge whatsoever. That wasn't even a human being, in my opinion.
No, when people are lining up for miles, like when he was in Arizona, 11 miles of cars to see him speak. And Putin's getting the same thing. They're both like rock stars, but
right.
Yet, no,
but we don't talk about COVID anymore now. It's Ukraine. Yeah. Pray for Ukraine. I see that all over Facebook now.
When the left say that, and when the mainstream media says that, and when the rhinos say that, it's BS.
It's fake.
It's been Russia for years.
Forever.
Hillary got busted for saying Russia, and blaming Trump. She got busted for spying on him. But now they're still saying Russia, and and they're getting donations. Like when I went to Ace Hardware, spent 83 cents on a gasket. They wanted me to give the remaining 17 cents to Ukraine. I'm like, no. And she looked at me like, what's wrong?
You're a horrible person.
Yeah, but no. I trust Putin more than I trust Biden.
Absolutely.
Jesus.
And the price of gas going up and everything. When we went to the convoy, it's kind of the same thing. You know, how many truckers are there out there? When we left, we had to backtrack and they were still coming, and they'd been coming into the truck stop for 5 hours and they were still coming. It's like, and all these people, I know they voted for Trump. So come on, really.
So in the chat, Mary Jane's asking, what do you think about Jim Carrey? Awake?
I don't know.
Part of him says the right thing.
Yeah.
Part of him, but he bought the liberal Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
You know, he was so anti-Trump.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you know, it's as if he was told, okay, you're going to play this role, and we've heard that he may be one of the doubles for Biden.
Really?
Yes.
He could be. He could be.
Yeah, with, you know, a little makeup and stuff like that. That's what I've heard. But
and he's such a good actor as far as it's, you know, he's very versatile. So
yeah, he's got some movies that I love, but you know, when the truth all comes out, we're gonna find out that a lot of these celebrities that we loved in certain movies, you know, like I can't watch a Tom Hanks movie.
Me neither. My stomach just turns when I think about it. Yeah. I'm like, I used to love The Green Mile. I can't watch it anymore because he's crying about when he realizes what the guy did to those kids, and I'm thinking, you probably did the same thing. When it just makes me sick. I can't. Used to watch Forrest Gump all the time. I had got rid of all of those movies, all of them. They're gone.
Bosom Buddies when he was young.
Oh yeah,
that sitcom. You know,
one of the episodes in there, his soon-to-be wife was on there, and they were at a diner, and Peter Scolari was supposedly dating her, and they sat down and they had this talk. She goes, "Well, I'm a Satan worshiper," you know, right there on the episode.
I think I heard something about that.
And I'm like, what? Oh, they're all thinking, ooh, I'm gonna get away from her. You know, we're gonna have a seance right now. You know, and I'm thinking, yeah, that was like thrown right out in our faces. And we just, that's just for entertainment.
Yeah.
No, not really, when you think about it.
So in the chat, Mary Jane's saying Kevin Sorbo is a good guy, aka Hercules. I'm not familiar with him.
Okay, that's a really old series. When was it? In the 80s or something?
Kirstie Alley. That's a good one. Yeah. I wouldn't go.
She's kind of off the wall to me.
No, I think she's fine. But I don't think she's up there with Breuer and Sammy Hagar. But yeah, I think but the thing is, there's not a lot of awakened celebrities. So I mean, who do you have to choose from?
We have to make new ones. There's probably a bunch of them waiting in the wings, is what I think.
Well, I think, you know, my favorite celebrity, most awakened, would be Allison Prescott. She's world famous.
AKA Goddess. So her birthday was yesterday. What does that make her? Is she a Pisces? Or? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And it was a full moon too.
That's true. That is true. So yeah, I appreciate Mary Jane for throwing the names out there. And I like seeing what other people are thinking about, you know, what awakens. I mean, it's not like everybody in the chat's going, you know, listing off name after name after name. And there's like,
you have to sit there and think about it. Cause I'm like, not sure about Jim Carrey. Not really.
But Jim Breuer gave up fame and fortune for love and family, to take care of his parents, to take care of his wife. I mean, total respect for Jim Breuer.
And that movie, Half Baked, really was awful. It was.
Wasn't the best.
I'm like, good, just get out. Just don't do that. Do stand up, which is you're really good at. He's so good at.
Oh, he's fantastic.
Always been very good at it. So forget the movies. They made him look like the dope. Have you noticed that about comedies? How there's always the dopey friend.
Yeah.
That everybody else is making fun of them all the time. They trip or they do something. They're clumsy or they always say the wrong things. They're always picked on by the other ones. Like you're the one that people get their jokes on. So I always hated that about comedies. I just thought, you know, I wouldn't want to be that person. And that's kind of like what he was, even though he looks the part.
Well, he can't help having those eyes, heavy eyelids.
And he goes, all my kids look like me.
That's true. It's true. But
Oh,
What
he's
about-
hilarious.
What about Reeves?
who?
I think his name's Reeves. He's
Reese?
the one. Yeah,
Reese who?
Reeves. He's the one that
Reeves. Christopher Reeves?
I'm not sure if that's. I'm not. I don't know why it's escaping me. But he's got that series. He put up a lot of posts as far as statements and beliefs, etc. That same one that is in the Matrix.
Oh, Keanu
Oh,
Reeves.
Keanu.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. I would
And
go. Yes, I would add him on that list.
Mhm.
And he's in that other thing where he's a hitman, etc., etc. He's got
John
three-
Wick.
John
Wick
Wick.
series. Yeah.
Yeah.
Extremely
So-
violent, of
Yeah,
course.
that's definitely. I would. Yeah, thanks, Rob. That definitely. I would.
Hmm.
I forgot to put him on that list, but you're 100% correct. In the chat, Dreamweaver said, and I don't know. I really don't know. I couldn't name one movie by this guy, but Matthew McConaughey and Dave Chappelle. Chappelle's came out and said a lot, but I still think he has his ties somehow.
Mm.
I think he's. I don't. I really love Dave Chappelle though. I think he's fantastic, a great comedian.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, I'm not sure how awakened he is.
Mm.
I don't know anything about him.
I know his wife's Brazilian. I don't know if he has 2 or 3 kids. Interstellar. Now that was really good. My daughter and I went and saw
Was in
that
that movie?
together.
He was in that movie.
Yes, it was really good. It was a very interesting way of explaining like time travel and stuff. And I'd never seen it done like that before. And I think he got an Oscar for it. But let me see. He's been in a lot of stuff. True Detective series, which was about a serial killer, with Woody Harrelson. He seems to do a lot of movies with Woody Harrelson. Did you know Woody Harrelson's dad was one of the hitman for JFK? There's
No.
like 8 of them.
Wow.
There's this show that I just saw this recently. There were 8 of them set up, and there was actually one in the sewage vent, which got the hit that went like that final hit that killed him. It's gross. Imagine being his son and knowing what happened to your father just like that.
Mm-mm.
Anyway, no, that was an interesting video I watched the other day. A documentary my daughter-in-law told me about JFK to 9/11. Something I can't remember the rest of it, but about a rich man's trick. Something about a rich man's trick. It was very good.
When Rob mentioned Keanu Reeves in the chat, everyone started writing his name, but we have like 3 different variations of how they wrote it. Sarah said,
All right.
Sarah spelled it correctly, and then Dreamweaver says Keanu, and then
Keanu.
Kino, Leona. So yeah, it's tricky name to spell, I guess. Yeah, but
I think he's
Got it,
part
Sarah.
Asian myself. And he has a brother too. Chris Klein is his brother. He's another actor, lesser known. What was that? American Pie. He was in that. His brother was in that.
okay. So Valerie in the chat said Ryan Reynolds just did a new movie. I want to see that, The Atom Project, about time.
Okay.
Anything time travel. For
Yeah.
for Allie's birthday, we watched. I suggested I have an article of top 10 time travel movies on N5D, and I read them off, and we ended up watching Peggy Sue Got Married, where she passes out at her high school reunion and wakes up in the 1950s and has all these experiences, and then comes back to life back in present time. But these experiences were confirmed that she had when she passed out. So it's really, it's that, and Somewhere in Time is another one that I really enjoyed.
Oh, my sister loves that movie. It's Christopher Reeves. It is really well done. I love that one.
Yes.
It's very romantic. Darn, what was I thinking? Something else.
Sarah's saying Russell Brand. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, he's another one. What was I gonna tell you?
I would love to interview and meet Jim Brewer and Sammy Hagar. Those would be fantastic interviews.
I know it's not exactly time travel, but Black Widow is another really good one. Scarlett Johansson is in it, and it's about being children being MK Ultras. It's very good. It's like a very awakened movie. It came out recently, I think, about a year ago.
Yeah, you're right. That doesn't sound like time travel.
No, it's not time travel, but it just clicked off in my head. It's just if you want to talk about awakened movies, The Matrix, of course, and all the series that goes with it. I do like. There's an Outlander, the series is about time travel, but it's a totally different thing.
I was watching that with Allie.
The movie or the series with
the series?
Sam Hewen and Katriana Balfe. Yeah, very good. That was her very first acting job. She was a model before that. I know too much about that series because I really like it.
That's another show that has, you know, truth hidden in, you know, plain sight. You know, it's how we're all being watched and monitored, and you know, it's just an illusion, really. Mel Gibson, that's a good one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He actually has I'm from upstate New York. And like I said, Jim Breuer, his brother lives in out near Oneonta, where I'm from. But Mel Gibson also has a house up there as well.
Really?
Yeah. And I think Deborah Harry is from Cooperstown, or lived in Cooperstown for a while. Yeah.
Always liked Mel Gibson movies.
Yeah.
Especially since Braveheart, you know.
He got blackballed out of Hollywood, basically. He said, F you, I'm going to make my own movie. And he did. He made millions on it. Good for him.
That's because he knew about all the stuff that they were doing.
Yeah.
And he called him on it, and then they gave him a lot of trouble, kicked him out.
Yep.
He took a huge risk, but hey.
Yep. That's another good one. Mel Gibson. Yeah, definitely. They're out there, and, you know, I tip my cap if I had one to them, but yeah, glad that they're doing that they have a backbone, a spine, and morals and values, you know, because, you know, when it's all said and done, you're gonna have to do that life review. And, you know, with all these people that are involved with adrenochrome and all that stuff, they're gonna have to relive the lives of all that went into that ingestion of that crap. So I probably shouldn't have said that word, but
party substance.
Yeah, right. That red liquid stuff.
Not Kool-Aid.
Kevin Costner. Now I don't know if Kevin Costner is awake or not, honestly. But Valerie mentioned that. Hanging laundry. Some people are gatekeepers. Yeah, I'm not sure. Like I said, you know, if somebody could say, "Hey, did you ever see the movie?" And before they can say the movie, I'll go, "Nope."
Because you don't watch. I've watched so many.
No, unless it's time travel. Yeah, that's.
How about the Time Machine? That one with Rod, whatever his name was.
I've seen that.
That is really cool. With the Morlocks. And then they did remake it.
Yeah, it didn't make my top 10 though. Sorry.
The remake was even scarier. Let me see what else.
Obviously, my number one would be Back to the Future. I just love the.
Oh yeah, they're so much fun. They really were.
I like thinking if I hit 88 miles per hour going on the bridge, I can shoot through time or something.
I think the third one was actually the best one when they went back west.
You
I
think
thought
so?
that was my favorite one.
Nah, the number one, the first one was my favorite.
I
Definitely.
did not like the second one at all. It
Yeah,
was
it was
just
different.
gross.
It was different. But I still no, I did like it. I
Mhm.
liked all of them, but just I had a dream in early 2000s, like 2004, 2005, something like that.
Mhm.
I had a dream where I sent myself back 20 years from the future because the critical mass wasn't high enough. And somebody asked me, "Who are you?" And I said, I'm a master copy of myself, which means I cloned myself. I mean, I back then they weren't really talking much about clones like that, like they are
Mhm.
now. And
Mhm.
and I just thought it was so profound for me to say that about myself. I'm a master copy of myself. And that's why I came back to raise the critical mass.
Mhm.
But and then Allie said, which one are you? I said, I'm the original. Yeah.
A double bluff.
Yeah.
So how does that work anyway? If you have a soul, how can you make a copy of yourself? Whether it's a copy, does it have a soul as well, or how does that work?
I don't know.
I don't
I don't think
understand that.
I doubt it. I don't, yeah. I doubt there would be a soul to it, but it's funny because Biden was saying he was making the whole, election, the past election, the battle for the soul of America.
Yeah.
It's kind of freaky.
Yeah, that was creepy.
Yeah.
Bring back better my ass.
Yeah.
Bring back better higher gas prices. That's what we all want.
Dr. Emmett Brown, roads where we're going, we don't need roads. That's right. Right.
Well, we're all going to be underwater, right?
The whole thing about time travel, I mean, they make it sound so simple, but if the Earth is hurtling through the Milky Way galaxy at who knows what, 10,000 miles an hour or whatever, I mean, it's all points of where are you at point A to point B, and how can you get back there when you're already, if you're gone for just 3 seconds, that's 30,000 miles that the Earth has already traveled. How do you get back to that 30,000 miles when you go either back to the future or somewhere in the or back to the back in time or somewhere in the future?
Right.
If the Earth is, you got it. Say you go here and you're going back in time.
Mhm.
10,000 miles an hour, the Earth is going this way and you're going this way. So you actually have to make up that for 3 seconds, that 30,000 miles plus the 30,000 miles that it's already traveled. And how do you
And
get
then come back again?
same spot that you're at?
Right. I don't know. A lot of it doesn't make sense to me.
But I believe
About
in it.
this. What's that?
I believe in it. Time travel. Yeah.
Well, I think you could do it in your head.
Well, I mean, look at the Philadelphia experiment. They did it.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
was,
Yeah.
that was bizarre. I think it's possible. I don't understand it. I'm not a scientist. But I'm not a see it and believe it sort of person, but I mean, scientifically, I don't understand how it works. And I don't know if I ever will,
Mhm. Yeah.
Some things like math, that's like, I don't even want to talk about it. I don't like math. It's like, don't talk to me about numbers. Anything over 10.
So Rob, Tammy, what do you guys think? Is there anyone else that we missed? And hi to Lana.
Is everybody out partying tonight or something? Because usually we have
Saturday
more
night.
people. Saturday night.
SATUY.
TUR DAY. No. I remember that stupid song.
Hi, Lana.
Hi, beautiful souls.
How are you?
Oh, there she is.
I'm
Hello.
fantastic tonight. How are you all doing?
Wonderful.
I'm playing with the mushrooms tonight, so I'm
Wow.
playing with you too.
Sweet.
Hey.
Throw some my way.
Yeah, me too.
Right? You get the contact high is what I tell people all the time.
So what awakened celebrities did we miss?
So my theory, you want to hear about that one?
Sure.
Sure.
They're all bloodline. They're all playing the roles, aren't we?
Mhm.
They're there to entertain you, to entertain you, to keep you distracted.
Mhm.
And to really lift the veil off the curse of humanity is to learn to trust within and stop going without.
Well, I agree with that, definitely. But at what
Mhm.
expense do some of these lessons have to be learned? How many people need to die?
Oh, yeah.
How many children's red fluids do they have to drink? You
No,
know?
I agree with you. And then I was also like, you know, that's part of the trick of humanity is like keep you thinking you got to fix everything around you. But when you work on you and you own your stuff, you don't start seeing, you don't see that stuff as much. Like if you're
Mhm.
looking for it, you're going to find it.
Mhm.
And they want you to find what will bring you down to those lower vibrations.
Sure.
Right.
And that's harvesting energy.
Distractions is just like football, keep you distracted. And then all the commercials that are on the football game and, a bunch of
Yeah.
crap. You look over here. What are you actually doing when you're watching football? Are you working on your spiritual progression?
Exactly.
No.
No,
It's all scattered. They
Yeah.
know that. Yeah.
exactly. And what do they encourage? Drinking spirits while you're watching football.
Letting the spirits in.
Yep,
Mhm.
exactly.
And that's been a conversation today. Like I took a walk with the dog and I'm like, there's a weird energy after this full moon. Like, ooh, they're trying to come in and attach and go through like walk-ins, literally entity wise.
Yeah. We got the equinox coming up too.
Equinox, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Is that tomorrow or is that Monday?
I'm not sure.
Wait a minute. Tomorrow's first day of spring, so I'm thinking it is tomorrow.
21st, right? 21st or
It can
22nd.
be one or the other. It depends. Yeah.
Very windy today. Weather's
here
been
it
really
was-
weird. We had 2 really beautiful days, and then today was rain, then sunshine, then rain and wind, and then back and forth all day long.
Susie, where are you again?
Western Pennsylvania, Grove City,
Okay.
near
There's severe,
about an hour north of Pittsburgh.
there's severe tornadoes that are going to be in hail coming up to the Midwest. There's a huge front that's going through. And so
That's what we heard. Yeah.
anyone that's out there in the Midwest, just be safe and know that we're thinking about you, and we hope that you make it through unscathed.
We'll be good. We'll be good. My puppy will eat all the poop that flies through the air.
That's hilarious. I love it.
She
You always trust in the dogs.
She
Pay attention to the
did that
animals.
the other night. I was mad at the one dog. He's old. Came out and I'm like, so I went to get something to clean it up. The next thing I know, she'd finished it off. I'm like, oh, you're disgusting. I am never
There
going to
was
let you
something in
touch
it.
me again. They said there's some, I don't even want to get into it. But anyway.
No, it is. It's
Gross.
nutrients. They know. They're not stupid. They know what they're doing.
My husband says, because you were yelling at the dog and she was scared, and I'm like, I wasn't gonna hit him or anything. I never hit my animals. They don't like it when I yell. My kids didn't like it when I yell. You want me to yell or do you want me to hit you? You got a choice. That's what I got. I got yelled at a lot growing up, so I'm a yeller.
Oh.
But anyway, I was like, oh, you are never gonna lick me again. I don't want anywhere near your mouth. You're disgusting. And thank you for looking out for your big brother, but that's a little bit much.
Marcus
Anyway.
said mother's birthday is March 21st, which used to be the first day of spring until they changed it.
Yes, like the clock's being changed. They were changed last week. And
Right.
now, okay, so let me see.
That's like, that was a conversation about it being a sign
A sign of what?
of the times regarding, so, oh gosh, what did I see? I saw something like that was like chronology, like stopping. the time. It's like symbolic of them coming in and yeah, like what I feel is like they're really, really digging in deep.
Yeah, it's all collapsing on them.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter what they do. It's going to continue to collapse. I put out a movie the other day about near-death experiences and how, all of us end up obviously doing our life reviews and everything like that. I would hate to be some of these people that are doing their life reviews, even though you're saying, some of these people are playing a role, they're going to still have to feel all the pain that other people went through, despite of them just playing a role. It's more than that to other people.
Well, and it's funny you say that, because the other night I just got this super powerful drop in, because it's us humans who judge it, right? So we place this judgment against what's right and wrong. That's that duality, the trap. But when it really boils down to it, God loves the destruction as much as he loves when you're in pleasure, and he loves seeing it all because that's his creation.
It's just like the law of attraction. I hate these bills. Well, you're
gonna get some more.
That's how the law, the universe works. What you're putting out there. Okay, we'll give you tons of this.
Exactly.
Hate all these bills. Here's some more. That's
right. But what I'm saying is that the drop in that I got is it's our judgment against it,
right?
That actually creates the karmic cycle for us. Okay. That we attach,
right? The judgment
that it's right or wrong. We were taught that it's not right or wrong. It's the neutrality of like observing it and not getting involved in it.
Exactly. Being the observer. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, totally agree there.
Well, I really hate winning the lottery.
I know, right?
Yeah, right.
I hate it so much. Why does it keep happening to me?
I know. God,
money magnet.
God, I hate money. What do I do with this? Does anybody know what to do with this? I mean, really, should I wallpaper my walls with it? Seriously?
In the chat, Leona said Robert Redford. She says that he's a good guy. I don't know. But she said that he left Hollywood years ago and makes his own films now. So
the Horse Whisperer. That's like my mom's era, because she loved Robert Redford, Paul Newman. She just like about died when they did Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid and The Sting. Those were like, she's sitting there drooling watching them because she loves both of them.
The movie with him and Michelle Pfeiffer that I loved, the Reporter movie.
Sarah put in the chat, spring equinox is March 20th. Sun ingress 0 degrees, Aries, equal parts day and night. Sacred site will be active tomorrow. Okay. Thank you, Sarah.
So it is tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's new transition, because the other day we were informed that the studio where I teach yoga is up for sale. So if anybody's interested and wants to maintain and carry that torch, I'm just throwing it out there. But it was interesting because I'm like, I kind of sensed it coming. But I've been going to that studio since 2009, and it's such a powerful staple in the community that the vision I just dropped in was like, you know what, this is about community coming together. If you want to stay alive, people need to come together and join in to carry that forward in the 2.0, because everything can be approved upon, but it's not not my torch to carry anymore. I'm actually seeing my own rebirth and stuff going on.
Some of this stuff can't be rebuilt. It has to be destroyed. And a new creation has to come up outside of it.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Tear down the old and build up the brand new.
Yeah, I mean, what good would be tearing down the Federal Reserve just to build something else that's based on the same crap, fiat currency, right?
Speaking of which,
yeah, I say the same thing.
I got another letter from the IRS saying we owe them money again. And I said, I'm not doing anything with these letters. They keep messing around with us, going back and forth. I'd sent them some money, then they sent it back to me. Oh, well, we're not going to deal with that right now. I'm like, okay.
I watched a really great video last night with Christopher. what was his last name? It was something significant that should stand out because I've heard it before in something else. Anyway, the guy was talking about all that stuff and how our money that we have a trust.
Mhm.
We are the beneficiaries of that trust. And you can actually use a 1099-A to pay off because your debts are already paid.
Yeah.
And the thing is you just turn it, because that's flipping the switch and not giving money. It's voluntary to give them money,
Right. Absolutely. Always has been.
but you can pay off. Like if they're saying that you owe, yeah, I feel you. It's a game. It's just to keep us in stress.
I'm like,
Yeah.
come and get me.
Yeah, and what about, our social security numbers being traded every day on New
Mm-hmm.
York Stock Exchange? They say that
Mhm.
we're worth like probably, I don't know, $7-10 million every person.
Mm-hmm. At least.
Millions, yeah.
Yeah.
What
And
was his name?
that they take the prisoners, they deliberately take out insurance policies on them, billions of dollars. And they do the same. That's what that is with us.
So they want to keep them in
It's a
prison.
game for them.
Mm-hmm.
Game to make us. That's why the prison system is meant to keep people incarcerated.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's all money.
Lieutenant Sergeant Horton,
Thank
I think it was. He did this big long thing on
That might have been his name, Christopher Horton. He was in
Horton?
prison. Really good.
He was a
Christopher-
sergeant, and I had this video. I had it on Facebook a couple of times. He explained it about all the language that they use, like
Yep.
being in doc and doctor and
Christopher Hauser. His last name is Hauser.
okay.
Use the trust as you are the beneficiary.
Mm-hmm.
Beneficiaries don't get charged fees. All caps is a trust, and I am the beneficiary. Is what I wrote down about that.
Let me see.
Pretty powerful.
I'm gonna look this up now because I did Sergeant Robert Horton and Maritime Law.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And let me see.
He said, don't even learn the laws. He's like, you just got to know what to say back to him that makes them back off. He's like, don't even bother learning the stuff. I'm like, I get it. You just got to be smarter with your response.
Mm-hmm. Warcastle Sergeant Robert Horton, describing maritime law, which is basically what it is. As soon as we get that social security card, or as soon as we get that birth certificate, they're buying and selling it. And this is something, of course, we were never told.
Right.
And happening. So that's all that's owed to us. And
Mhm.
somehow.
He
It's
also
gonna come
mentioned
back to
something
us.
about going to Social Security. You got to be very careful when you turn 65 that they don't try to renegotiate the terms, because what they'll try to do is push it off for 10 years.
Mm.
There's a whole, like, you got to know when you go in there, you don't want to end up losing it all, because they make a percentage. And so there's a reason why they would want people to know, because they make a percentage for the millions that you, it's like something like 2 or 3%. I forgot what he said, but the video was really good. And I was like, dude, I got to listen to this again, because he had a wealth of information. And he's like, the prisoners, because you can also, you got to remember that all of these different people in these positions have, what are they called when you can file against them, against their, what's it called? I forgot, but it's an insurance policy, a bond, the bond.
Surety bond.
And he also said, if they ever try to turn around and say that there was a bond or an arrest warrant, remember warrant? He said, you got to be careful. You got to get all the documentation, because there may never have been an actual whatever this was, but that the implication is that because there was an end bond or whatever, that they're implying that there was a charge when there really never was.
Oh,
So
you would
gotta
know if
make
you had a
sure.
record, wouldn't you?
Well, I know that, yeah, right. But the thing is what they have to provide proof is the point. is what he was talking about. But it's the terminology and the languaging, and it's like, wow, you got to really call them out on it. You got to know exactly what to say. And a lot of times they'll try to trip you up. Because he said when you call up the phone, they treat you completely different when they say, okay, so because they'll hang up on the phone with you too. And he was saying, like, they'll be like, okay, so you're the trust holder. You know, you obviously, what are you doing with my, how did he word it? He worded it in such a way like, how are you going to benefit the trust? Or like he molded it in a certain way too, because you got to learn to finesse the words.
Mm.
So that
You have to be good with your language skills. You have to know the vernacular.
Yeah.
So you said his name is Christopher Hauser?
Yeah, Hauser.
Okay, that's how I spelled it. All right, got it. I'm
In
so
the
good.
Mind with Heart said birth certificate is a license to engage in trade in Babylon.
Yep.
Does it say it on there?
Actually, I've heard that there's two different birth certificates, one that you see, and then there's one that has like an actual number that can be traced to the stock exchange.
They're in the Vatican, and it's a form of enslavement that originally went back to slavery. That's how they track the slaves.
Yeah, all you get's a copy.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's mine. I got it when I was 16.
Oh wow.
And they shrunk it down.
I was going to
So
say
I
that
can carry it with me.
tiny. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't have my parents' names on it. Just saying, is Augusta Aroostook? Well, it doesn't say Aroostook, does it? Augusta, Maine is the capital of Maine. But yeah. And I got my Social Security card. Just show you real quick.
Yeah.
Can't see it.
No, that's good. Don't want to see it.
And my birth announcement. I also have some of my baby hair, but I don't know if it's in there. My mom cut it off. You know, the first haircut you give a baby. She saved it in an envelope for me. That's so nice of her. She was very busy with 7 children.
So Luca Music is saying Trump and Putin are taking down the dark New World Order. Okay.
Yep.
Good with that.
Okay.
Matthew McConaughey strikes me as off. Interstellar was
Yeah,
good.
I'm not so sure about him either.
Yeah.
Playing
I
the
put a
roles.
question mark by that.
But
Well, I mean, I saw Tom. Okay, so Tom Brady came out of retirement, right? So
Right.
I'm like, and then I saw pictures and stuff of him with men. I was like, wait a minute here. I don't want to see any more. I'm like, why does this stuff keep dropping in front of my face? Like, I don't want
pictures
to
of him with who?
men.
Men.
Oh,
What do you mean? I don't get it.
And that he's into men.
No.
Like, yeah, well, we don't want to believe a lot of things. And I'm like, listen, I'm not looking for that. Please, like, universe, please stop dropping stuff in front of my face.
Right.
Just like the whole trans thing, like with women.
there's so many of them out there. That's the other thing.
You can't tell with some of them. Unless,
B. Arthur.
Yep.
Barbara Bush.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
Look just
what's
like
her
her
name?
dad.
Julia Childs. I always thought she was pretty big for a woman myself. I mean, as a kid, remember she had her cooking show?
Yeah. I remember Dan Aykroyd doing a skit on her, cutting his hand and blood's going all over.
Oh my God, that was yeah.
I used to make fun of her. Oh, she's so easy because her voice is so weird.
Oh, child, yeah.
She sounds like she has a great big bubble in her throat.
We weren't spies. You think? Mentioned in the Spy Museum up in DC. I remember when that first opened. And my sister wanted to go see it, and I was like, oh, whatever. It was kind of like, oh, look at that. There's Julia Child, and there's all these actors. And I'm like, MK Ultra.
Yeah.
All that stuff. Yeah.
That's what that movie Black Widow is about MK Ultra.
Mm. I remember when what was her name? The woman that came out, Kathy O'Brien, when she first came out years ago. She actually came out in the 80s, didn't she? If I'm not
Kathy
mistaken.
O'Brien.
Look up Kathy O'Brien. She talks about the Clintons and everything.
Oh yeah, yeah.
She an actress?
She
No,
talked.
she was an MK Ultra.
Yeah, David Icke talked about her. She mentioned how she saw the Queen and the lizard tail on the Queen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Back before people were talking about all this stuff.
Oh, that's pretty gross. Embryonic devourment, Kathy O'Brien experience.
Quick
They're
shout out to Phil real quick. I want to give a shout out to Phil. Thank you for the super chat, brother.
Awesome.
Appreciate that, man. Go ahead.
Mission Mind Control. No, it's on YouTube. They're showing, how when you go past the pictures, sometimes it moves a little bit.
Yeah.
It's pretty gross. It's a girl hanging. Yeah. Anyway,
they used to have a lot more videos on YouTube too, because that's how I initially found her stuff. My sister and I had gone down that rabbit hole in the beginning, because that was talking about, that's when it all started. Oh, makes sense now.
Well, you brought up Barbara Bush. Doesn't she look just like her dad?
Yes.
Kelly? Yeah.
You see, you really notice about the brow. I mean, it's more pronounced on men than it, like, and I noticed that my husband's too. It really kind of is more prominent on a man. And then the thing about Cher having an Adam's apple.
Oh, really?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Yes.
But how did she have Chastity, who's now a man?
Unless she has both.
Huh?
Apparently they know how to do that kind of thing I don't know.
Well, look at the Kardashians. There have been people come out and say they were suing the Kardashians and Beyonce and all of them for surrogating their children because they can't have them.
Like Kim was born a boy.
Okay,
Kim,
Yep.
You could fake the progression of being pregnant, right?
Yes.
Oh, they've shown pictures of her deflated belly too. All of them. Yeah. Caught on camera.
Can't have a body like that after having 4 kids. I'm sorry.
Well, it's all cosmetic anyway, because most of them are boys or whatever. But you can tell. Yeah. It's crazy. It's just basically showing the level at which they have tried to keep us so fixated and to live up to that ideal image, which is a lie.
Which is, yeah.
I feel badly for like any woman in sports who has to compete.
Oh, right.
Man,
Gets a man.
To be a woman.
So unfair.
It's insulting, is what it is to us women.
Well, here's the other thing. Imagine having Bruce Jenner for your dad, who is an Olympian, and for 37 years he was eating Wheaties, and look what happened to him.
Yeah, I remember him in the Olympics back in the 70s.
Man, he was big. He was really muscular,
Yeah, he was a great athlete.
76,
more
I think,
Wheaties
was
for
the
me.
year. What's that?
So no more Wheaties for me.
I know. Stop eating Wheaties.
Good point.
Oh, damn it.
Just imagine having that's your dad, and then, well, it's my dad, mom, my mom, dad. I mean,
They just walk up and slap.
It's all designed to keep people so confused.
Yeah.
what a messed up bunch of people. Oh,
What's up, Phil?
Hey, I finally got it figured out.
Got it. Welcome back.
Hey, oops.
Humans and their tricks.
Humans and the tricks. Well, that's
Phil's
gonna-
got to hide the mess
for
behind the
kids, though.
screen.
Right? It's a beautiful screen.
Pay no attention to that mess over there.
I've seen his messy kitchen one time when
Hey, come
Screen was
on.
down, like,
I'm blind. How can I fix it?
it's all good. That's why you
just as
can't.
long as you're not tripping over stuff, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, that's it, right. I do trip over things. I ran into something today and I got a bark on my knee now.
Oh,
boy.
man.
Oh, nature wanted to be a part of you.
Yeah.
How
The
sweet
thole.
is
At least I know that I am an actual man.
that? There you
The
go.
I feel pain. That's true.
I don't know if you caught it earlier, but did we miss any of the awakened celebrities? Or if you missed it earlier, what celebrities do you consider to be awakened?
Awakened celebs. Keanu
Mm.
Reeves is the only one I can think of.
Mhm.
Um,
That was a good one. Yeah.
and
Who's
there's that comedian.
I could dig real deep for that one. They're all there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think
I
they're-
do enjoy their entertainment, and I do enjoy their nuggets of wisdom and truth drops that I can discern through. So I do have that. I'm
Mel Gibson is
Human.
another one.
Yep.
That's,
I like Mel Gibson.
Oh, I
yeah,
love
he's aware of what's going the fuck
Yes.
along. And even came out and talked about it.
Yeah. Very good. That was
Ricky Gervais.
Gervais.
oh yeah.
Yeah, he's
Oh man,
outed
his
those-
Golden Globes. Oh man,
Gervais,
that was so
Gervais.
awesome.
Yeah, he outed them all.
Good
All
one.
of them. And they're all sitting there like,
That one wasn't brought up yet. So yeah, that was a new one. Good one.
Ricky Gervais.
I like him. You're right.
My top three were Aaron Rodgers, quarterback, Green Bay Packers, because he was anti-jab and he saw a UFO. So that was pretty cool. And then a tie for number one was Jim Brewer and Sammy Hagar.
Mhm.
So
Jim Brewer is hilarious. Oh my
He's
God.
great.
He's so funny.
Oh,
I love physical
if we
comedy,
wanna go
so
into
that
the
he's just
past,
right
George
up there.
Carlin would be
Oh
yeah.
yeah, I loved Carlin and
Bill Hicks.
Bill Hicks was
Bill
the
Hicks,
other one.
yeah.
That's right.
yeah, Bill Hicks. I mean, he really had it down.
I
Yeah.
always think of
And he
Robin
didn't
Williams.
pull any punches. He struck at him really hard.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jim Brewer is like the modern day Bill Hicks. He's
Mhm.
going right down that road. And
Oh, really? I'll have to look him
check
up.
out his YouTube
Oh,
channel.
he's really
Jim
good.
Brewer Bruniverse.
Bruniverse.
Yeah.
Universe?
Check that out,
Is that
yeah.
what the name of it?
Yep. The Jim Brewer Bruniverse.
He used to be on Saturday Night Live. Oh gosh, that was
Yes.
like years ago.
Goat boy.
25. That is I can't find a video of just that. But when you see it, you just start dying because you're like,
Yeah.
how can a person make that sound?
That's funny.
He said he used to get free beers and drinks from doing that.
Mhm. Jim Carrey, though sometimes I wonder about him.
Yeah, that's what
Mhm,
we came
mhm.
up with too. He was brought up, but he being so heavily leaning to the liberals and
Truman Show.
Yeah.
that's a beautiful movie though. Yeah. Love it.
Documentary on life, the true
Basically.
man
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is.
in the firmament. And they say that there's been some talk about him being the actual walk-in for Biden, supposedly.
Yes, yeah, we talked about that a little
Yeah.
earlier.
That's crazy.
Oh, really?
You know that's not
He's one of
Biden. No, he looks nothing
the
like him.
possibles.
Yeah. Steve Jenkins in the chat mentioned that Dan Aykroyd. He says he distills his skull vodka with crystals. Also, he's a big ufologist. He's heavily into UFOs.
Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know
Join
that Dan
us in the
Aykroyd is, yeah.
Come join us in Zoom.
So yeah, that was. But we're having a hard time coming up with like 20 people.
Yeah,
I
how
don't
many do
even
we
know
have
if we
now?
can.
1, 2, 3.
I kind of
4.
doubt that there'd be 20 enlightened beings in Hollywood.
Yeah.
I think we got about 10 altogether, 10 or 15.
Okay. We
Then there's us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Stars of
but-
our lives. These are the stars of your lives.
These are you should have known that. You're a psychic.
Well, you put the world famous Allison Prescott on that list, right?
Mhm.
The world famous. Oh, stop it.
I would say
Matriarch.
Janine Monagru, I think.
Montalbano.
Moringo? Moringo?
Yeah,
Moringa?
What was it? Tarot by Janine. Yeah, I think she's
Oh,
pretty.
she's awesome.
Yeah, she's pretty.
She is pretty
Enlightened, too.
amazing.
Yeah. Well, I was mentioning earlier that Allie and I, because are going to be doing something similar where we have a bunch of you guys ask questions, but we're going on BitChute. We're going to pre-record it on StreamYard, and it's going to be completely uncensored on BitChute. So,
All right.
Oh, do you know that you can live stream on Rumble now?
no, I didn't.
Yes,
I am on Rumble.
I haven't played
so
with
we
all
can do
that
it on
stuff.
Rumble too.
Oh, you're talking about Duel while he's casting this one. Yeah, I don't see why. And also Odyssey and all that stuff.
Can
I tried
I
to.
use StreamYard as well with Rumble?
I don't know. I'm not sure about.
Huh.
I imagine you could. I'm not positive of that.
I'll have to look into that.
But I mean, you could. Yeah, I know. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll go test it out.
Hey, Hackles. You want
I
mama
have a
that?
Rumble up. You know, I don't have a Rumble up yet. Okay.
This is the pupper.
Aw.
Hey, Pupper.
Happy dog. He
Big
wasn't
L
feeling
yawn.
good. You know, I know. He wasn't feeling.
Nathan says you can live stream on Odyssey as well.
No, I see it.
Oliver Stone's son, UFO Mark, is awake. Yeah. He has Sean Stone.
Yeah, Sean Stone. Yeah, I'd say he's enlightened. Yeah, or on the road to enlightenment anyway.
Yeah. I've seen his program on Gaia.
Hey, you want to go outside? You gonna go potty?
No, I don't. Oh, I'm sorry. You weren't talking to me. I'm sorry.
You had to go potty.
Oh, right.
Well, I do have to go.
The dog playing a trick on the humans. Yeah.
I hope BitChute has a live option sometime soon, because I love it.
Yeah, I don't know when that'll happen.
Yeah.
Take a look at it.
Oh, but the nice thing about Rumble is that I guess they also have a super chat, only it's called Rumble Rants.
Okay.
Mhm.
And the nice thing about that is they don't take 20% off.
Oh, wow.
So it's better than
YouTube.
Yeah, okay.
There's
You want to
another
call
one.
them YouTube? I
Yeah.
don't think they're for you,
Video.
and they certainly aren't for me.
Right. Mark in the chat said David Nino Rodriguez, former heavyweight boxing
Yeah,
champion.
yep.
Oh yeah.
And we might be able to get
Oh
to
yeah,
20 here.
a lot of the
I didn't know that we could bring in YouTubers and
sports and all that. Yeah,
Oh yeah. Yes, and just celebrities, so it could
they're
be.
entertainers. I mean, they're
Yeah.
celebrities. They're in the spotlight, so sure, why not?
Got McKay, Patriot Street Fighter.
I know that one. So
And Steve saying Bob Dylan. I'm not so sure about him.
yeah, I'm not too sure about him either. Though I mean, I did like his music in the early days.
I think he's one of the people that said he sold his soul to the music industry.
Like the Stones and all them. Yeah, right.
Well, and but in his later years, he started going to Christian kind of stuff. So maybe he changed his mind. I don't know.
Why would they do that? Why would you go that far? Why would you have that much greed or ambition or lust for power?
Desperation does crazy things for people.
Yeah, I think it's like a slow creep. First, you got to join this club, and we don't show you too much. And
Right.
by the time you're into it, then you finally discover you're
Yeah.
already incriminated
Yeah.
and addicted
Blackmailed.
to whatever they've been giving you. Which
That's
is
why I have so much respect for Jim Brewer. He was offered, fame and fortune. He turned it down for love and family. Total respect for him.
Ooh, there's somebody else that did that. Ron Howard.
Ron Howard?
Ron Howard?
Yeah, he quit and he devoted himself to his family.
Wow. Opie?
Opie?
It reminded me of I used to love Growing Pains. Kirk
Cameron?
Kirk Cameron. Yeah.
You don't hear about him much, but he's a huge Christian.
celeb.
I always thought he was genuine. Like I could feel that in my heart. Like I don't know, you know, but at the same time, I just always felt like he was genuine because he separated from the acting specifically.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. You were saying.
Well, I was just going to say, I don't want to give the idea just because you became Christian that you're
No, I agree.
Immune to that stuff, because there's a lot of those. I'm pretty sure Joel Osteen or whatever the hell his name is.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's in the club.
Yeah.
And then we know about all the priests in the Catholic Church. And
Exactly.
or still do, or I don't know.
Well, this was a conversation today because this full moon and this energy, Pisces and the infiltration of spirits. So all of that in the atmosphere right now is that they're trying so hard to hold on that they're going to try to infiltrate every single walk. And I recently, with a girlfriend of mine, I said, I think one of our dear friends has some stuff going on with the walk-in, because like behavior that's not normal. Like the whole, like everything gets infiltrated. So like if you are not in your highest integrity, it's going to infiltrate and use you as the channel or the vessel, you know? So this is just a theme. If you're weak in yourself.
Oh, well, yeah, there's that. Yeah.
Weak links. And they really are trying to literally hold on so much that some of, you know, if people don't know, they're trying so hard, but we're so powerful right now in these times that it's literally just the awareness and they shake off.
In
Like this.
the chat, Natalie Nathan said they had a
Get the
fundraiser
fuck off
for
of
the
me.
live stream. Natalie Nathan said they had a fundraiser for the live stream on BitChute that he funded, but now he said they took the funds and the webpage offline and he can't find it. So I guess they were thinking about it on BitChute for doing live stream, but yeah.
Yeah, anytime I've gone there, they're still at about 70% finance. So I don't know what else I can do. I'm subscribed to their subscribe thing, and
right.
I think I'm sending them $10, $15, $20 a month. So
Stephen Jenkins said Sting changed when he took ayahuasca.
Yeah, ayahuasca will change you.
It's almost, that should almost be required for everyone.
I don't know whether all of you could handle it.
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I'm going to tell you, when I came out of that thing, I went through the dreams that night. I mean, I dreamed I was torn apart. This is a shamanic journey. I'm just going to say.
It's all metaphor though, right? You know?
Well, yeah, it's in your dreams, right? It's not, but I mean, you still feel it.
Of course.
You feel like you're being torn apart.
Wow.
You see
Depends
yourself.
on your experience. How about that? Speaking from your personal experience, because you have to
Right.
be careful.
Yeah, okay. I'll qualify it that way. Speaking from my personal experience, the first part of it was okay, because I saw, the only vision I got was I saw this pink wave come across. And just everything, the whole field, there was a band of pink. And what I went into it asking for was compassion. Pink is the color of the high heart, compassion. So they gave me what I wanted, but then they gave me a little bit more.
Always, right? Here's what you need. Here's what you wanted, and here's what you need.
Exactly.
Take it, it's
That would
free.
bring tears to the eyes, because I feel that. I've been there. I get you.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it was just all that was to just tear apart my ego, so it would have a harder time growing back.
Yeah, and I bet you that you hit the nail on the head. That was the metaphor, right? Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but I have learned about ego death. Doesn't matter what you go through, even that ayahuasca experience. I would say within 6 months, I was having to combat my ego again. But I'm going to say it is much more quiet. It doesn't argue with me very much at all. Okay,
You get the
just
upper
don't go
hand
through
now.
that again. Don't do that to me again.
I don't know anyone that's conquered their ego 100%. I don't think it's possible, honestly. How can you go one day without saying the word I? period. Not to say that that's ego or anything, but
It is ego. I go ego.
right. Well,
I
You
am.
could say me instead. Me wants that.
same difference though.
Me drink
You have to
water.
be
now.
No,
friended
the only
because you're
one that
part of
works
it.
is we. We
We
are.
What if you talked in the third person? Greg doesn't think so. Then
No,
as
that's
the
pretty
observer.
egoic.
That's the observer, but that's like the Seinfeld episode with Jimmy. Jimmy doesn't want those shoes. I don't know.
That's
Anyway,
right. I forgot about that. I forgot about that episode. That was a good one. Oh my God. Seinfeld, like the whole series. Like, that's just life. Like, that's
Mhm.
how our thoughts are out loud.
you know what? He almost made the list because he's into transcendental meditation, but he didn't.
Transcendental had been infiltrated too. The whole transcendental, every movement's been
Transylvania.
yeah, exactly.
The Transcendental from Pennsylvania. Okay. I didn't know that was the thing.
I will say Wim Hof.
It's the same thing.
Wim Hof?
Wim Hof.
Right.
Oh, he's cool. Have you
Superman.
tried doing that breathing exercise? You almost pass out.
I teach all
tried
that.
it.
I don't do I teach Kundalini yoga. So
You
for me, breathwork
hyperventilate
is-
and then your ears start ringing. I'm like, is this really good for me? I'm not really so sure.
What, deep
that's
breathing?
the ego. That's your
Super
mind.
duper. You breathe in really hard and you just let it out. And you do it for like 30 rounds of 30, I think it is. And then you just lay there afterwards.
It's
Okay.
all
But
to
you keep
stimulate
doing
the
it really
sympathetic
fast.
and relax
you-
the parasympathetic.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's
James
nervous
Start
Tiber on,
hyperventilating and it's like, wow, you get a buzz off of it. You really do.
That's
Yeah.
what we're supposed to do. Get high off of our own life.
Right.
right,
The breath is spirit, is God, is source.
right, exactly. James Tiburon used to do that too. For anytime he would get a meditation going, he'd have you go through 30 quick breaths, where
Yeah, mostly the
Yeah.
hard part was the pulling
Holotropic
in.
breathing, holotropic breathing, breath of fire, as we say in Kundalini yoga, O breath, anything that stimulates the vagus nerve. It's like what you're doing is putting your body in a freak out that's
Mhm.
simulated so that then you can chill out and see what's revealed. I like to say in Kundalini yoga, when people come to my class, I'm like, we do the freak yoga because people call it freak yoga. So you don't freak out there.
Really, you would get you'd actually actually get a buzzing in my ear. And then it would slowly dissipate. I was laying on the floor doing it. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
But for your spirit guides talking to you though.
Could have been.
You just
Like-
ask them.
I
Are you
might
there?
do it again. He has videos on YouTube and they could just play him and like, just get ready, just do whatever he says and just lay there and just like, woo, you don't need to smoke anything. It's just, it's okay. But it's just, I don't know.
In
He
the
also
chat-
does the ice showers and stuff like that.
Yep.
That
Good therapy.
takes some getting used to because I tried to do that also. I did that. That was like 2-3 years ago. I tried to do that. And I'm like, it was the dead of winter. I can't do the ice. I'll do it in the summertime. I'll take the coldest water, but not
It's
in
what I
winter
miss
when
about
you get
living in
out.
Europe.
refreshing then.
I
Yeah,
miss about
exactly.
Europe
I can
is
take
the
it as long
thermal
as you
response.
want. But if you step out and you're still cold, he says, don't worry, you're not gonna die. 10 seconds, 30 seconds, you'll be fine. And go back to warm. I'm like, how does he do this?
Because it's the mind.
You hear the whole story
It's
though about how
challenging
he
and
started
conquering
doing
the
it?
mind.
What's that?
I don't know. This is all it's a mind game. So what you're
Yes, it
doing,
is.
you're challenging the mind
Yes.
consciousness.
and then proving. So what you do is you create your own reward system. So when you go
Mhm.
through, you follow through, you're like, oh, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was.
Mhm.
And each time you're getting more of that internal reward, chemical reward system, dopamine and all that,
Mhm.
serotonin, what your body craves and needs, doesn't need here or any other addictions. You create that through the parasympathetic. It's basically you're strengthening the nervous system. through the breath,
Mhm.
because the breath is the regulator. It's the maintainer, sustainer of life. It's called life force for a
Mhm.
reason.
Right.
Mhm.
I'm totally into.
Inspire.
I mean,
Inspire.
I went,
Aspire. Right.
Exactly. And then you expire.
You lose
We're
your
always
breath.
expanding or contracting at all times.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Ebb and flow of life. Go ahead.
I was gonna say,
Riding the wave of the breath is essentially when you start recognizing that it's all, we're riding the wave of the breath, that when you catch yourself in, like when you hold your breath, you're not living. You're suspended.
So you were trying to say something there.
well, I was just gonna say, when I first discovered breath work, I used to use that as a meditation method, and I would do it for hours. And all I can say about it, it did calm me down, because I'm pretty, I can get really angry.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
You're in good company.
That is something I noticed. That is something I noticed too. It really, like, wow, I can go through my day. If I did it first thing in the morning, I can just go through my day now, and I felt really good. And maybe it was what that buzzing was, what Lana said was my spirit guides were trying to talk to me, but I was just like, no, I'm not ready. So I stopped.
We'll come back. We'll come
Yeah,
back.
I would say that's more what it is, Susie. You're just not ready for it yet. It's because
I don't know when I'm gonna be.
I'm hearing that you could do it right now if you just wanted to, if you just felt like you could do it, if you just knew you could do it.
That's usually it, right?
There was a comment in the chat, and it goes back to what we were talking about ego, and it's from A Mind with Heart, who said, "Tame the ego, not conquer, like training a horse."
Yeah, I mean, that's what I've come to the conclusion is that I can't. I mean, I've tried to kill it 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
But I have, through doing, I mean, that could be one way to train it. It's, bam, bam, bam.
No, it
And
was
finally
just
running into a wall.
okay, stop that. I'll do what you say from now on.
You won't.
No more pain. So it's like, it's the mind is actually a tool. It should not be running the show. It's just a tool.
master
It's
your
the
breath,
receiver.
master your mind, because you slow down to witness it. So therefore you can harness and see, oh, there's my pattern.
Right.
And then you can train the mind. And then you master your domain, you master your life. That's what I say all the time. I love that. It's all about
I'm getting a lot of spinning up here.
Yeah, truth serum.
They're going like, come on, come on, come on.
See, there you go. I love it. I love it when they come to play. I love playing.
Play. They're scaring the crap out of me. Like,
no, they're like,
Oh,
listen, we're here
there's
to
nothing.
play.
What is there to fear? Death? That isn't. I mean, your soul
what I'm
never
afraid
dies.
of is the dark guys like, here's our way in,
Well,
That's what I'm afraid
that's
of.
the fear mind.
So get it, drop
Susie,
into your
remember
heart.
when you were younger and you remember when you were younger, we know when we were young guys, you probably had the same thing. You had friends. You could see things nobody else could see. That's what that is. Hey, I'm back. Remember me?
I didn't have imaginary friends.
I didn't need imaginary.
I didn't need them
either, but I had all sorts of guides and angels, and I sent myself back in time too to watch over me and all sorts of stuff.
Wow.
We talked about this on the last a couple videos back when we were talking about our angel names, because you had asked. Remember that? I said Seraphina.
Yes.
And
yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would play with my friends, but then I would just get over them because they were just, it's like having small talk when I just don't want to have small talk. Like today, a friend of mine and I went to this store that was closing. Today was the last day. We went in there and I was telling the lady practically my whole life story with exes and all that. I mean, I never have small talk. I'm just like, there it is, because I can't.
You're authentic.
Pardon me? Yeah. So take it or leave it. Either I may never see her again. I don't care.
Exactly.
It's like, you know what? We just start talking And then my friends started talking. We were all talking about, oh yeah, I've been married for the 4th time. I said, 4 times? Wow. I said, after this time, I'm done. Then my girlfriend said, I got married once and I'm never doing it again. And then we started talking about all these things that we've been through. And this is a complete stranger, but I was like, this is the kind of thing I love. It's like talking to somebody in customer service, and they would do the same thing to me. They'd start telling me their whole life history, and I loved it. You know, I sat there and listened, and like, I may never talk to them ever again. I love that kind of stuff.
That's an introvert trick. Like when we stand in line, you know, being an introvert, I could stand in line at a grocery store and talk to somebody, knowing that 5 minutes from now, that communication cut off.
I mean, never see you again.
Introvertedness.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Lana, you were mentioning, and I don't remember you talking about this. You said you sent yourself back in time.
No, I didn't remember that.
Okay, so I've done this, and I've actually consciously, I realized I had done this in a lot of because this is an intuitive thing. Like there's a lot of different intuitive things that I do sometimes where I visualize myself going back to remind, because you can reprogram your entire life. You know, go back and just, you know, inner child work. This is really all it is. It's no dimension, no time. That's man-made. We know that. So it's like, wow, you know, I can be there to help guide when maybe at that time in my life, I didn't have somebody to remind me that you're going to make it through this. You're going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a lot of that shit. So I'm like, dang, I got through some shit in my life. And I realized that's because I was there for myself.
You know what? That makes me think of something. The night that I left my ex, I was like in the bathroom, just like crying and screaming. And I heard a voice saying, you don't have to live this way anymore. I'm like, you know, you're right. I don't. I'm leaving, you know, put the kids in the car and left. I don't know if it was me. You know what I mean? And it happened one other time too. But so I'd been waiting there,
guardian angel,
and sticking with a relationship that was never going to work, nothing was going to be reciprocated. And I was sticking it out because of the kids. And when I realized he wasn't even there for the kids, I'm like, why am I here? I'm poor now. I was poor, you know, I don't care. I have my life. I have my kids. But yes, that was the first time I remember ever hearing a voice. And it was very calm. It was just like, you don't have to live this way anymore. And I'm like, yeah.
Good for you.
I'm out of here. Grab a bag of clothes and get the hell out.
So I have a theory on it.
Go ahead.
So I have a theory on guardian angels. I think they're just a part of us. They're in our column of light. They're like a
aspects of us.
Ninth dimension, because we're multidimensional people, beings of light. We go all the way up to the 12th dimension, right? So we have the angelic realm is part of us.
Right.
It's either our progenitor or where we're going.
Right. So all those things are between here and there, but it's still us.
It's
yeah,
still
exactly.
us.
That's what you're saying.
Exactly.
Like this
So
is my 9th dimensional self, or this is my 12th dimensional self coming down and telling me, cool it. You're going to be fine. Get the hell out.
Exactly. Exactly.
Listen to me.
Inner
I'm
wise
telling you
woman,
because I
right?
know.
If time doesn't exist, why can't that be yourself
True.
in the angelic form?
Yeah. Everything happens in the now, folks. Everything.
Yeah.
There is no time really.
Yeah.
This is a precept that we have it that it's linear. If anything, it's circular, but it's still happening now.
Spiral.
And I did a video yesterday. I was talking about how it's our attachment to expectations, and that ultimately we're all aspects of ourselves. So what shows up to you, you attract where you're at, because your inner child, and I've come up with this analogy before. If you're not doing the inner work, you're not going within and saying, oh, I need to reparent my inner child. Your inner child will energetically call in a third party because you're neglecting it. You know, throw a temper tantrum. Think about it. We all did this. I'm going to drag this other person over in here, and then you can hash it out and deal with it because you're not listening to hear. So everything that we draw in is for our healing, the unresolved, or it's for our just enjoyment in the moment, because you notice certain people come into your life and you just like relaxed and you're holding each other and you're on that vibe. And then other people tug you down.
Yep.
And that's just a lesson
Absolutely.
you're working through. So everything is an aspect of you that's either seeking healing or is already healed.
So you mentioned an attachment to expectations. The expectations would be the unfulfilled realities that haven't manifested yet.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, expectations are also attachments, and Buddha teaches us we need to let go of our attachments. And you
Non-attachment.
definitely, as you're getting closer to the transition state, that's when you really need to unattach from fucking everything.
Mhm.
And,
Being the observer once again, right? Not
Yeah.
being in the world, but not
Of
phased
the
by it.
world. Yeah. Didn't Jesus say that too? Be in the world, but not of the world.
yeah. Of course, and then
That's when you know you're healed, when nothing triggers you. And so the other day I'm driving in my car, I'm like, you know what? My fucking devil human is impatient. And I talked about this in the video too, that I own that shit. And you know what it is? It's intolerance, because I know where I'm going, and it's my integrity behind the wheel that says, okay, I also know I'm your guardian angel, because if you pull some shady shit and you're not paying attention, I'm here watching out for the both of us, right? So, but at the same time, I'm like, listen, I got to get point A to point B, but I know the divine always has a plan, and it likes to inject these little the little fuckers in my way, right? It's like, dude, wake the fuck up. You shouldn't be out in the car. You shouldn't be driving. Like, you're just lollygagging. Like, I'm like going, just don't let them pull you out of your peace. But at the same time, but that's my human, and I actually get entertained with it at the one hand, but I also see the divine comedy in it too.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's when you know you're getting there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's I own that human. I'm like, I'm fucking good with that. Okay.
I'm so with you on that, because I catch myself like earlier today. Somebody was driving like a turtle, just inching along.
Because they're all moving to Florida, and we already have a traffic issue.
But I'm in the right-hand turn lane. You can either go straight or turn right, and they're inching along. The light turns yellow. I'm like, gun it, hoping that they'll gun it and go through the yellow light. No, they didn't. And then we just sat there for like 2 seconds and watched it go from yellow to red. And then I had to sit at this intersection for like 5 minutes.
A minute.
Oh, I got it with 5 minutes. I don't know if any lights has got that long of a.
I'm gonna time it next time, but it felt like 5 minutes anyway.
I bet it was 30 seconds.
But I was all pissed off. And then I thought, okay, thoughts are energy, and I'm like, I'm sorry, and I'll send that out, and I'll catch myself. I'll be that observer, and I'm like, that wasn't the right thing to do or think or something like that, and I'll send it out.
It was to bring you into that awareness, not even needing forgiving, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So
I talked about that in the video too, because forgiveness is a manipulation. Because if you know yourself so well, you can discern who to trust or who not. Then when you start talking about forgiving someone, that meant you had a judgment, you had an expectation, and now you're saying, I forgive.
But still, things happen.
Righteous. No. It's being aware and accepting it and honoring it, but does it really deserve the forgiving? It's already forgiven. God, everything is perfect.
Okay, well,
it's our attachment and judgment that creates that whole cycle, and that's the karmic loop we get caught up into.
Yeah,
and that's part of the. They talk about this being a prison planet, right?
Mm-hmm.
We need to come back and fulfill karma. Bullshit.
Why?
Because
I kind of look at
are indebted, proving yourself.
You can't ever get out of that. Then there's no way to get out of it. It's constant.
Yeah.
There's no way to break it if that's what you believe.
Bill, jump in.
Yeah, no, I can't. Sorry.
It's okay.
He's
I give up.
Oh, my head is exploding. Hair is. I just cut my hair today too. I had Go ahead. We're with the locks over here, all the long hair.
So basically, forgiveness is not for anybody else. It's for yourself, really. And this is kind of why I like that. Sorry, please forgive me. I thank you, and I love you.
Ho'oponopono.
Yeah,
I love it.
Ho'oponopono. Yeah, I like that one because really you're forgiving. It works for yourself and it works for other people all at the same time. And so
I just take it to that next level and I'm like, wow, I'm in awareness that I know better now.
right.
I don't have to forgive myself because it's perfect in that moment.
Well, yeah, if you can think of
I
yourself
totally
as
get that.
perfect in the moment, then
Yeah.
you don't need to forgive yourself, right?
Yeah, like that movie that I just put out, the spiritual reality, the near death experience one. I just put out the other day. There's this one guy that crossed over to the other side, and he's sitting on the lap of God, as he called it. I would say creator source, but that's his choice. But he said, he's saying, "Oh, I did this and it wasn't good. I felt really bad about it." And creator said, "It's neither good or bad. It's just the experience." And that's what you're saying, Lana, is that that's what it is. And on a higher level, there is no judgment.
No, yeah.
Humans.
I mean,
all
even
up-
your life review, that's all on you. God
It's all
isn't
on
judging.
you. Yes. Yes.
A few
Well,
days
just-
ago, I was just literally visualizing. I saw through God's eyes. I felt God's feeling. He loves the destruction because that's creation. And I was like, oh, a lot of people don't want to hear that. People want
You're right. They don't want to
they
hear
want
that.
vindication because that's the duality. This polarity is all about keeping us like this.
But that's
The real
Pluto and Capricorn right now. Pluto's just
Yeah.
tearing down all this crap, and we're watching it collapse right in front of our eyes right now. Yeah,
Yeah.
destruction.
It's for a good reason though, it's
Yeah.
not just,
Feels so good.
it's not just to be chaotic or anything like that. It's for a purpose. Got to tear down the old to bring up the new, brand new. You can't have them together. So
We
That's how I
never
look
meant
at
to
it.
fix the old.
Yeah,
Just
it
say
can't be
goodbye.
rebuilt. Exactly, it can't be rebuilt or redone.
no, just destroy it.
Yeah,
Just totally that we don't want any part of it.
yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna say because I have been going at it that way, is trying to bring it down. But I'm beginning to think I just need to start creating what I want to see. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Focus
Just
on your
out of
vision.
Go
out of
ahead, Rob.
curiosity, I don't want to change the subject, but that little experience I got to get off my chest.
Ooh.
Well, whatever. Some I hadn't experienced before, and maybe y'all have heard about it. But I was walking from the house next door to other place, and midstream, all of a sudden, and I've experienced this before, moving from one point to another, and then having a conversation and experience something and never miss a beat as I'm doing what I was doing. So all of a sudden, I felt this pulse. It was like one heartbeat. And I had stopped. And it pulsed. It was a real heavy pulse. And it hit me 360 degrees. It came from in the center and spread out 360 degrees all the way around me. And I saw the energy pulsating out as I was, and then all of a sudden
Did it have a
never
color
missed
to it? The energy, did
I
it
was
have
clear.
Okay.
It was clear.
And then what happened after that?
And it was like I never missed a step going. But guess what? The other day, that dark, all of a sudden, you like a little picture, you got a little white dot. And on the TV, and all of a sudden it comes out and it brightens up everything. Then it might go back in.
Mm-hmm.
The other day, it just opened up. It opened up for about 3 seconds or something like that, and then it closed back down again.
So
And you
we've been
felt
getting upgrades. We haven't talked about upgrades. People haven't realized, notice. One of the things that dropped into me a couple years ago is that we're going to be we're master manifestors. So our thoughts create reality. We know this. We intellectually know it. But there's going to be a point where you start realizing you just had the thought and then it's right there in front of your face. For
Mhm.
people who are not in this awareness, who haven't been working on themselves, it's going to flip them out. And that's where the mass hysteria is happening. It's already started happening. You're seeing it around the world. It's, they think it's the influence, like whatever. They're not conscious. But for those of us who are conscious, it's gonna be like, oh, that's a good sign. So what you got was a big upgrade, and it's giving you glimpses, giving you those glimpses into your gift. And the more you're in awareness of it, the longer they're going to open up, the longer they're not going to close.
Well, see, it's like Greg knows, I've been in darkness for about 4 months now, but I wasn't before. I had an experience when I went into darkness, and I've been there. It's like you said, going back, it's not empty. There's things I went back to when I was 4 years old that I had never forgiven, et cetera, as far as another little kid goes, playing. And that popped up. I'm going, what's that doing here?
Mm.
So the other day, the darkness kept getting lighter, but the other day it just opened up. And then in about 3 seconds, then it closed back up.
Did you
But it
feel
was that
that
pulse.
when it opened? When it opened up, did you feel that clear energy coming in at all? Or
Be honest with you,
yeah,
there was it's kind of hard to describe. No feelings, or just ease, peace. I mean, as far as the physical body feelings goes, it wasn't. It's just like with the pulse. It came from in, and it was, and I'm just okay. I'm going with the flow. Well, I just keep on keeping on. I'm not getting discouraged. But the ego knows he's just a servant with me. I've been working on him a long time.
You know what that makes me think of? Maybe it's totally off the wall. But when we're swinging when you're a kid, you go all the way up to the back, up to as high as you can go, and then for a split second, that's what I'm thinking. That's what he experienced. For a split second, you're not moving. You're like, everything is like free. And then you start swinging down again. That feeling when you're all the way up to the apex.
Yep.
It's like
you're suspended in the air.
Yes, it's awesome.
Yeah, well, I was seeing things all the time up until I had that one experience, and I saw that scroll, and it went into darkness. And then I used to consider watching TV. I closed my eyes and I start experiencing things.
Wow.
Then after that scroll situation, everything was gone.
why do you think that is? Why? Because that's there's something major is occurring right now in your life. Do you think maybe that's like a timeline shift? And then all of a sudden, what was whatever were on those scrolls maybe has changed, and you're creating your own reality right now. What do you think?
I'm not sure. I just, after this past week, my head's been doing a lot of stuff. I've been feeling all the way down my spine a lot. I've got all kinds of energy and things coming through my feet, my hands. I feel it like I used to breathe before I was used to taking certain number of breaths before meditating.
Yep.
Then all of a sudden I realized that, Aaron, I never took any deep breaths. And sometimes I don't even remember taking a breath at all.
Mm.
I sit there, start meditating, and I don't even take a deep breath. I just kind of. So I'm not sure. I'm going with it. I've got you guys up here, and y'all got a certain amount of experience that I don't, and information that I don't. So I just, and besides, something was pushing me to say something to you about it. And I said, well, I'm going to get this off. I'm going to get it off there and see what everybody got to say about it.
Well, when you mentioned the scroll, I almost wonder if that's something you should have focused upon. And maybe the fact that you didn't focus on it is why you've had this in and out and not able to do your normal scrolling or Well, actually, yeah, that's a good term. So it might be symbolic that you were just kind of scrolling through your subconscious, we'll say, and said, no more playtime, time to go to work. And
Well,
that-
it took me three sessions to get through it. In other words, I was sitting there, I started from the top, it was sitting there still, and then it started scrolling.
Mhm.
And then I stopped, and the next day when I started again, it picked up from where it left off and kept on going. And once it got to the end of the scroll, I started off on the left side of the scroll, then I was near the center, and the third time I was on to the right side of the scroll, and when it ended, it just pulled nothing but darkness with it.
Hmm.
What was on the scroll?
I cannot tell you. They're just symbols and numbers, and some of them look like hieroglyphics. It's different. I couldn't understand any of
Did
it.
you feel like you understood what was on there though?
No, but I understood that I needed to pay attention to it.
Oh, okay, so you did pay attention to it. That was what I was worried about. Okay, so what they're saying here is that it's going to unfold for you. You just need to be patient with it.
Well, that happened about 5 months ago, and things have been getting lighter and lighter and lighter from the darkness. And that's when, day before yesterday, I think it was, that opened up. And I saw.
Yeah, so well, I would take that as a good sign that things are starting to unlock within you.
That's true. That's a metaphor within itself. Things are opening up. Yeah.
Unraveling the scroll.
Mhm.
Unraveling the scrolls, right? So just like the breath,
Right.
the inhale, you go within. And then the exhale, then you can go without. You can go out. So we contract. We're always either contracting, going within, or going out. So
Well, I
always
tell you,
imagine. Yeah.
it has wore me out this past week between the energy release or whatever that pulse was.
Yes.
And this,
CME.
I am just totally drained. My head's drained, everything's drained. I mean, it's like so much energy has been used up.
Well,
I feel like I ran a
Because you've been
marathon.
upgraded, so you were short circuited. So a lot of our nervous systems aren't prepared to take these upgrades. So what happens is this is where the breath work and doing the strengthening of the nervous system comes in. That you can do the breath of fire, you can do, the holotropic breath. But the more you oxygenate the body, you put it in the stress sympathetic, the easier it is to equalize back into the parasympathetic in the rest and digest. So the majority of the world, and this is a collective of what we're going through, is when you see that mass hysteria, it's because they're frenetic because their wires are shorted. And most people aren't breathing. And so we think we're exhausted when in reality, when we fill our cup, when we charge our batteries, the heart, the lungs, we're electromagnetic beings, people. We shouldn't be sucking it in. We should be pulsing it out. That's the truth. This is what they don't want you to know. The true free energy, you're the frequency. You frequent keys. Think about the terminology and the languaging.
Yeah.
We are the tuning forks. We are the resonators and the harmonics. You can use your own voice to heal yourself. And you don't have to know what you're saying or doing. Just you're tuning your body. Your cells love the sounds.
Oh yeah.
You get all like good, right? It's just like dancing and moving your body. Movement is medicine. Medicine. That was the word I was trying to think of earlier.
The big thing that focuses me and it is that pulse, because I was already in that in a type bubble anyway, because I can look up and I see it now.
How did that pulse make you feel?
Energized. I mean, I just just energy. It was like one heartbeat. It's like a, and then a little vibration, and then I could see the energy, moving outward. Where did it go? How far did it go?
So this happened, you're saying that this most recent one would happen during, or right around the time of the CME, the most recent one,
That was
correct?
Tuesday morning.
Yeah. Because we were receiving energies. On Patreon, I put out a mid-month energy report
Yeah.
that talks about how the CMEs affect the pineal gland, which you were mentioning about how it's affected your circadian rhythm right now. And so
Right.
there's something that's going on that's integrated with your pineal gland and what's going on with that opening that you experienced. Right now, it's hard to discern exactly what that might be. And I think you would probably have a better idea. Also, I wanted to mention too, in the chat, Claudette said that if you can write the scrolls down, her daughter can tell you what they mean. So if you have any
It took 3 hours of it moving just fast enough to where you can't. Your page is moving and you catch one line and you go up and you can't even read it because it's done gone. It's moving just fast enough to where you could not just go.
How cool would it be though to get like to get hypnotized and be able to recall all that stuff and write it all down?
Can you tell them to slow down?
Well, yeah, you can tell them to slow down. You can
Please,
tell
so I
them to
can-
bring it to you in a different form too.
Right.
And then they'll try to
Spend
comply.
freeze time.
I was in a
Spend
situation
so much
there where I
time.
wasn't going to make any demands because I didn't know exactly what was going on where I was.
Right.
Hey,
Well,
slow down. What do you mean slow down?
You can always make demands, man. In fact, as the more we go on into this expanding of our consciousness, we have to set boundaries and, hey, that's coming in too fast.
Yeah,
Slow it
yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Oh, I
I
can
can't read
process.
it. Yeah.
This is
I-
your
I
life.
think-
Command it. You have to own it and command your life. You are the producer, the actor.
The director.
Like this is your show. So when something comes into your space, own that and be like, okay, you're in my space. You need to slow the fuck down. Show it to me. Like this is what most humans don't do. They're like, oh my God, I got all these stories around this. No, stand in your power. It's in your space now. Like, you don't know what that is, but it's an aspect of you anyway. So you might as well command yourself.
If you want me to write it down, you have to make it so I can actually see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need
Write
to
it
claim
down
your
or
sovereignty.
record it.
You got to take
Like a voice
responsibility
recorder,
for
like
it too.
while you're seeing it, record it in a voice or tape. Well, we don't have
Or
tape
video,
decks
whatever you
anymore.
can do. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's been
so-
my
so you
problem.
can-
I have these conversations, and there's this one lady in a white robe and dark hair that shows up all the time. And when I went on the other side of the white wall and was talking to this guy, the only thing he asked me, he said, "You stood there long. I was wondering if he was going to ever come over here." Because he was sitting at a table and I walked on the other side of the wall. And I can't remember the whole conversation. I can't remember what he looks like. I just remember when I looked over his right shoulder and saw that lady in the white gown and with the dark hair, but I never get to see her face.
Hmm.
And then I'm back again. So I'm constantly saying, hey, I need to remember this stuff. Who were these individuals I'm talking to? I got an idea, but I'm just not going to say, I'm not going to label anything.
Mhm.
My guide came to me like that, Tamara, long flowing dark hair, white gown. And yeah, I mean, does it feel like something along that line, that woman in the white robe might be one of your guides?
Very well could be. When I saw her standing over his right shoulder, I said, "Oh, time to go."
When you mentioned the pulse, the first
Mhm.
thing that I wanted to share this is because we're getting these upgrades to your body, it feels like someone literally put the resuscitation machine on you to bring you back to life. So that pulse was to resurrect you, bring awareness, because the moment you notice the pulse, now you're curious. Now you're leaning in. And that's where it's giving you, because that's what the average person needs is a tug.
Kick in the
Hope.
ass.
Yeah, a hope,
Yeah,
a
I like
provoke.
that, kick in the pants.
Sometimes it's gentle, sometimes it's not so gentle. Depends on your
Taser.
language.
Tasers.
Taser.
What's your
Wake
human
up.
respond to? Like
Well, I'll tell
your
you-
spirit
All
guys
right,
are like, you fucker, I'm gonna give it to you real good. You know, what I mean? Like your spirit guys are like,
I've moved a long way in the past 5 years. Well, it's been 6 years now.
yeah, to come out of the dark for sure.
Well, when the accident happened, I was in the dark, and this archway opened up after a while, and I started heading toward that archway. And then I got to a certain point, and then a shadow figure stood in front of me and wouldn't let me go any further. Now, there had to be a conversation because I said, well, where in the heck am I? And I woke up, and all of a sudden, eyes popped open. I was looking up at the sky. But the thing is when I got to that white wall, I was the same exact distance from that same archway, the same opening, and the same distance from it as I was when I was in the dark, and they wouldn't let me go any further.
So it happened instantaneously anyway, right? It was almost as if it happened outside of time.
Suspended in time, like you just
Yeah.
said.
Well, I've been enjoying every minute of it.
Mhm.
Thank you for sharing. That is so cool.
Mhm.
Like, thank you for sharing your little poker, because that's so freaking cool. Like, everybody's got a language that their spirit speaks to them, and that was like, look, here's your pulse. You want to know more? Come and get it. That's freaking beautiful. I honor that and I celebrate that. Like, we need more of these conversations.
Well, I'll tell you, I have been going, everything's inward.
Yeah.
I don't care about money. I don't care about this. My circle of friends is about 2, me and my wife, mainly. And what more do I need? What more do I need? We've been married 43 years now.
Mhm.
And well, she does her thing, I do my thing. We're just as happy. We don't get I can go anywhere and do this, that, and the other. We have everything we need. We don't need to be out partying and goofing off and all that good junk.
Mhm.
So I'm too damn old to stay up late to party anymore.
It's
Well,
beautiful.
keep us posted on your progression on that, because this is really fascinating.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Well, something just was the whole time we've been sitting here, something was just sitting there going, just pushing
Just say it.
me.
Yep.
Do it. Get out.
Yeah. Yeah. And if, if nothing else, if there's stuff that you want to talk about that you don't necessarily want to mention here, save it for the Insiders Club private chat and just let it out right there.
Yeah, well, sometimes silence is better, even though you have a lot to say.
Through that. That's wisdom.
No, I think you should share, because someone's going to understand and
as
recognize.
the introvert.
Yeah, right.
That was beautiful. Good. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I had to say it, man.
Yeah. Introverted on the Insiders Club private chat, though, or on here.
Well, I've got some questions for you, and I mean it's been going, and it's been popping back and forth because I've been asking myself these questions. I've been asking whoever I'm speaking to questions, and it has to do with the higher self and the self and source. There's this puzzle thing going around, and I'm trying. It's something I'm trying to put together. Put it together the right way. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
That's the introvert you turned on.
Okay. I was going to say, but you're not going to tell us about it now.
It's a teaser.
Okay.
It'll come out just as it's meant to. So we
Yeah.
hold that space for you. Whenever you're ready, we're here and listening. That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, that's well put. I think right now we should probably wrap things up. We've been on for 2 hours and 40 minutes. So if
As
no one,
usual.
I want to thank, first of all, I want to thank everyone that joined us here live on Zoom, as well as in the YouTube chat room. I love you guys, all of you. You're amazing. You are what makes this super chat so special. Also want to thank everyone that's watching on the recorded version of this. And whether you're watching on the recorded or live, if no one has told you this yet today, please allow me to be the first. You are loved. You are appreciated. And thank you for your service to humanity. So on behalf of all these lovely beings here on Zoom, as well as everybody in the chat room, I'm Greg, and I'm sending you all infinite love and light. Namaste, everyone.
Much love to you all.
Be safe.